Hi, I'm Treakser and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe my channel and on the notification. The advancement of technology and science has always acted like a double-edged sword. For example, today you can hardly find anyone who doesn't complain about social networks and the impact these networks have on our daily lives. Mostly, the improper use of the internet and these networks has caused a phenomenon called information explosion. Every day we enter a lot of information into our brains, many of which are probably wrong or useless, and we waste our lives looking at pictures or reading text that don't matter to us. But if the social networks are to be dismantled right now, probably very few people will be satisfied, and for the rest this is an impossible matter. Imagine that there is no internet and no app to exchange text and photo with. Also, think how many businesses will be closed and how our daily lives will be spent. The relationship between technology and man is gradually turning into a relationship where it is no longer clear which one is the service of the other. The progress of technology is inevitable and necessary, but what is the task when technology stands in front of man, not by his side? With the decision he makes, does man ascend his foothold in the world every day, or does he make a recipe for his own destruction? The topic that I want to talk about today is much more serious and dark than the discussion of social networks. The masterpiece of Ion Storm company Deus Ex is one of the games to which the history of computer games owes. How mature, engaging and multi-layered a game's story can be is something you have to sit down and play the Deus Ex series for yourself to find out. Deus Ex is undoubtedly one of the best action role-playing games ever made, and many other developers have followed the original idea of this game and created other good games. The mastermind behind this game is Warren Spector, and in 2000, a unique series called Deus Ex started, a game that has one of the best stories in the history of games, and many consider it the best game of 2000, the best game from 2000 to 2010, or even the best game released for PC. And Deus Ex story is probably its biggest strength. I say this while the game has worked very well in other aspects, such as gameplay, sound, and atmosphere. So you can probably guess that this story is not an ordinary story. It is a masterpiece. You take on the role of J.C. Denton, who works as an agent for the United National Anti-Terrorism Department, and J.C. Denton is still one of the most memorable characters in the games, and you may have come across jokes about this character. In the early 2000s, when movies like Men in the Black, The X-Files and The Matrix were all the rage, J.C. Denton was one of these cool characters who had special powers and wore a long black raincoat and never his sunglasses. He doesn't take it out of his eyes. Of course, this exaggerated view was not only about the main character of the game, and the bad guy in the Deus Ex are also classic bad guys who make evil plans and laugh out loud. But one of these makes you not take the story of the game seriously. By the way, on the contrary, all these exaggerated looks and the game's attempt to show its character are successful and heartwarming. and you are on the side of a smooth and perfect gameplay. The gameplay has depth in the literal sense of the word, and the number of ways to pass each stage is admirable, not only 2 decades ago, but even now. If you played the newer Deus Exes, you know that you have a few different ways to get through each stage. You can choose heavy and offensive weapons such as rocket launchers, machine guns, and and hit the enemy, or choose a long-range weapon such as a sniper rifle that you can hunt your targets from a distance. Maybe you are one of those who prefer a medium range but quiet weapon like a slingshot. After all, whatever path you choose is open to you. In the Deus Ex, you have to be a good stealth player, because even when the game gives you a heavy and aggressive weapon, you don't have enough bullets to destroy everyone. It's true that JC Denton is cool and all that, but Deus Ex is not a simple walk and shoot game. Good aiming and stealth are not the whole story. Other skills such as unlocking or hacking are skills that you must know in Deus Ex to advance in the game. And in the game, by progressing through the main and secondary stages and completing them, you will be given skill points. With this score, you can improve your skill during the game, but don't expect to master everything, and the game will become easier for you. The skill upgrade system is so artfully designed that you have to account for everything you do and every skill you upgrade. You can't become the best hacker in the world. Improve your physical skill like swimming and be perfect with your weapon at the same time. You should choose the skills that you think are most useful for you. Naturally, this doesn't mean that you should become careless about enjoying the rest of your skills, but it means managing them and preferring one of other. For example, by increasing your swimming skills, you can buy a nano piece for your respiratory system that increases your lung volume, and you can stay underwater longer. This will allow you to see ways underwater that you couldn't discover with a normal breath. Instead, you will no longer be able to open all security doors. It means that the balance of the game will be maintained in any case. It just depends on you how you want to advance it, and this means depth in the gameplay. The thing that you should pay attention to is the game save system. Since we are used to leaving the game whenever we are tired and continue it next time from the nearest checkpoint, Deus Ex may annoy many with its manual save system. These save files were large in 2000 when the game was released, and each save took about 15 to 20 megabytes, which of course is no longer an issue now. Also, the technical graphics of the game were not great compared to the games of the same period, and the games that were released in the same years had for more detailed in graphics. Although the game environments had a good variety, and during the game you travel to places like Hong Kong, America and France, and encountered different environments, but all these environments were simple and low in details. This is despite the fact that Deus Ex at that time required a very strong system to run, which made many voices. In any case, these issues are not very important now, because the game's graphics are out of date anyway, and the atmosphere of the game can completely convey the feeling of a cyberpunk world. The music of the game is epic and good, and the voice covers are done by skilled and good voice actors.
JC Denton, in the flesh.
We're from Australia.
Let's just wait for Russ.
Thanks for watching. What's your idea? Really, Deus Ex can be the best game of the year 2000 or not? In my opinion, yes, of course, because in that time it was the best. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe my channel. And don't forget to on the notification to be alert for new videos. Anyway, peace.